purpose of our presentation is various etiquette of the UK. We divided our talk into four subjects. Number 1, basic etiquette. Number 2, at the first meeting etiquette. 3, etiquette in a restaurant. 4, business etiquette. Then I would like to talk about basic etiquette. Firstly, it is not recommended to use the titles in a normal situation. In Korea, it is commonly considered as term someone who to Mr. or Mrs. is being polite. However, in England, people use it in very overly formal situation. Secondly, the British are likely to have a certain amount of personal space, so don't stand too close to another person or put your arm around someone's shoulder. Thirdly, staring is considered rude. We could look at them because of their different appearance, but we must be careful not to stare too hard. Finally, never try to sound British or mimic their accent for fun. A clumsy accent does not sound funny to them, and it can make them angry. So that's all for this part, and Minju will introduce next part.
Now, I will talk about the etiquette first person I meet. First of all, smiling is important. Koreans don't look at each other's eyes very well, but the clearly smile each other. If they are facing on another, if you make eye contact, smile brightly at them. Next, if you close to someone, there is something that doesn't need to be done. It is on handshake. They don't like physical contact, so I will give you a tip. Shake hands. Shake hands vigorously for short amount of time. Then you can avoid an awkward situation. The last point is about when you talk with someone. If you are talking and you wave your waist or use your hand too much, they will think about you are being cunning or weak. That's all of my part. Soyeon will explain next part.
From now on, I'm going to talk about British restaurants etiquette. Firstly, if you go to a Korean restaurant, you can choose the table you want to sit at. But in England, you go to the door of the restaurant and wait until the server guides you to the table. If you don't like the seat you've been given, you can ask for another one. Secondly, when you want to call a server, you just have to raise your hand rightly. Even if necessary, Europeans wait until the server comes without calling for them. as that is a good manner. Next thing I want to say is it is always good to use thank you or please when you ask the server anything as well as something in the restaurant. Lastly, I would like to talk about the tip culture, as that is not part of our culture. The tip is usually 10% of the total price. Move on to the business etiquette.
Finally, we are going to talk about English business etiquette. First, I'd like to talk about the dress code. They usually dress up in dark clothes and wear traditional pinstripe shirts. But straight ties should be avoided. Also, you should not put a pen in your shirt pocket. Second, let me tell you about the greeting. The British don't like to shake hands except for meeting after a long time or meeting for the first time. Especially if the woman didn't expand her hand for a handshake first, it's best to avoid it between a man and woman. Third, let me tell you about the gift exchange. Most of the British do not exchange gifts in a business situation. It's better to invite them to dinner or a concert than a gift.
Fourth, I'd like to tell you about punctuality. In general, the British value timekeeping for a business arrangement the same as Korea. If you make an appointment, your business partner will be arrived on time or just before. It is considered very impolite to arrive late for a business meeting. When you arrive late for a meeting, you must apologize to the other person. Respecting their time is very important. Lastly, I'd like to tell you about what to do when you are invited to someone's home. Although the British value punctuality, you may arrive 10 to 15 minutes later than the time to arrive. When you eat something, do not rest your elbows on the table. Also, do not speak too loudly or interrupt someone's talk. As a result, we have so far learned about the British etiquette. If you know about this basic etiquette and visit England, you will be able to avoid unpleasant situations from cultural differences. Let's cover all we wanted to say today. So, do you have any questions in our presentation? Yes, please.
Why should not put a pen in the shirt pocket?
That's because they consider it is for decoration, so they don't put anything in their shirt pocket. If there are no any other questions, that brings us to the end of our presentation. Thank you for attention.